I have a guest. He's here. He's huge.
Am I too far back?
Oh, you're a little bit. Yeah, go back a little bit. Yep.
Down?
Yep. No, get back.
Back up?
Just in the chair.
Okay.
Yeah. He's never seen the camera before.
It's flashing.
I know, it's recording. This is Dan. I went to school with him. He's from Australia, and he's visiting for like 2 weeks, and we saw Captain America: Civil War.
We went to the midnight screening. It was great.
All right, Dan, you're my guest. You tell me first, what did you think of Captain America: Civil War?
Well, what words do I have for this film? This is how it starts.
Action. Adventure.
Agreed. That's the first 15 minutes.
Yeah. It's crazy. What are your impressions of the movie as a whole?
I was very excited to see the film. Very, very excited. It was great to see so many of the heroes come back together and reunite.
Yeah, but not in a ridiculous way, you know. It was in a grounded way. Like, these are the characters that would be in this storyline, and it makes sense that Thor and Hulk aren't in it because this is a grounded movie. This is like a politics movie.
There's a lot of politics.
There is a lot of politics, but it's not boring. It's not too boring.
No, I thought it was going to be a little cluttered with all these characters and a lot of different storylines all meeting in this one point, but somehow they pulled it off.
I thought if they were to go like full politics, that they could really have increased the clarity and the overall authenticity of the politics side of it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that the whole Accord thing could have been a bit clearer, and that could have been really interesting, but they didn't go with it, obviously, because it's a comic book movie and they need to fight. They need to fight each other.
And they did.
Dan, what is the best part of Captain America: Civil War that you can say to the general public?
The best part of Captain America: Civil War, I really liked the delving into Iron Man's personal life, and really going back into his personal life, bringing his dad, Mr. Stark, back into it.
Iron Man went through a lot of shit in this movie.
He went through a lot. There was
a lot of shit.
There was a lot of new information brought up about his past.
He's feeling so much grief right now. Like, holy shit.
Carried pain in the whole movie.
Like, he's already feeling grief about the whole Ultron situation, but then, like, his whole parents thing is brought into it, and the Accord and whatnot, and everyone in the entire Earth is coming up to him and saying, hey, you killed someone that was close to me. You should feel like shit right now. Obviously, he's like, I don't want to kill people.
Yeah.
So his motivations are super clear.
Yeah.
Super clear throughout the whole movie. But then you got Captain America. It's on the other side.
You do.
And he just will not compromise on his values. There was that one scene early in the movie where the niece of Peggy, Sharon Carter,
yeah,
who's all of a sudden in the movie, she was like, how to get ahead in the world is to compromise where you can, but not compromise where you won't. And Captain America was like, I'll do that.
Exactly.
And since like that scene happened in the whole movie, you're like, I understand Captain America.
Yeah.
I understand where he's coming from.
Well, he's very patriotic, and so he sticks to his values, and he was true to that whole film. There's just so many complex crossroads of
and there's lots of like interplay between characters, and not in the typical Marvel quip kind of way. Just the relationships are very complex in the movie. The whole kind of friendship love triangle between Tony and Steve and Bucky is really cool, because Steve is like, Tony, I want to be friends with you, man, but Bucky's like my best friend, and Tony's like, I don't like Bucky, he kills people, and Captain America's like, well, yeah, but that's not him, and like, can we all just be friends? And Tony's like, no, we can't, because people are dying.
Well, he was pretty blinded by his past and what happened to his parents, so he was pretty cemented in his motivations and his feelings toward Bucky.
One thing I felt is that throughout most of the movie did a very good job of making it so that there wasn't like a bad guy between Captain America and Tony. Like, you can understand both of their motivations, and it's not like one is morally wrong. But I feel like after the movie, just thinking about it, I was like, so Tony was wrong. Tony completely compromised after the movie. He went through so much emotional shit. He was controlled by his emotions the whole time, and Captain America was just uncompromising in his values. So it turned out that Captain America was right. That's what I felt.
He was.
I think that was just like a little bit of a flaw, because like the whole three-quarters of the movie was like, oh my god, who's right? We'll never know. And then like there was that moment where Daniel Bruhl's character was like, oh, it's not about who's right, it's about tearing you guys apart. And I was like, oh, so that's what the movie is. But then it turns out that Captain America's right.
I liked how Daniel Bruhl's character, he had a similar background to the Black Panther in the way that he had family that was killed because of the Avengers.
I feel like every person that's introduced to the Marvel Cinematic Universe now is introduced because someone close to them has been harmed by something. Like every single person. Happens. What did you think about some of the smaller characters that not only were introduced but kind of re-happened a bit? I feel like Falcon came back with a vengeance in this movie. I feel like he was much more awesome than he has been in the past. I felt like Ant-Man was awesome. I thought he was better than he was in his own movie. Spider-Man, the introduction of Spider-Man was awesome. I think he's going to be a great Spider-Man.
I can definitely see spin-offs coming.
Oh yeah.
Much room for Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
Discovered on Instagram.
Yeah.
To make those videos.
Yeah, unfortunately I wasn't cast as Spider-Man. That would have been much better.
But yeah, I liked Spider-Man. That was fun and refreshing. I liked his playfulness when he was like the young Spider-Man, and
that airport scene was for all the fans. That was purely for the fans. They were like, okay, we're gonna halt the story for about 15 minutes here and just give them like 15 minutes of nerdgasms.
Yeah,
that's essentially what it was.
20 superheroes in one tight spot. Rumble.
You just basically described an orgy.
An orgy of comics.
As for its placement with the other Marvel movies, how do you think it stands?
This one definitely struck some deeper chords with me. I was very happy with the balance of the comedic moments versus the drama.
Yeah,
it was great. It wasn't too much in either one field.
Yeah,
it was good balance. There's really great little comedic moments that just broke things up nicely, but didn't oversaturate.
Totally. Like
the previous Marvel ones.
Yeah, like Age of Ultron.
So it definitely gave it its Captain America feel, to make it separate from the typical Avengers, which I really liked. Liked.
Yeah.
It was just, at times I felt like it was not hard, but because we had so many character storylines. Focusing mostly on Iron Man and Bucky and Captain America, obviously in the center.
Yeah.
But there was, they did well for all the characters that they had, backstage stitching them into the story, with somehow keeping it readable, and it was good.
I think the thing that makes this movie better than any Marvel movie that I've seen before is the fact that the dramatic moments actually hit. You know, like the moments that are dramatic are treated as such. You know, and they're not immediately broken by some worthless quip. You know, the dramatic moments actually work, and that's why it's the best Marvel movie so far. And the scenes without action and without visual effects are actually well done. Yeah. So,
well, they used I've read it that they used a lot more practical effects in this one for the scene, especially with Captain America fighting with Iron Man and that scene in the concrete piece at the end.
Yeah,
a lot of that was practical effects.
Yeah, you can tell with that one because the action got much better as the movie went on.
Definitely,
we were talking about how in the beginning of the movie the action is very quickly edited and very rampant and jumbled, but as the movie went on. You could tell that there was more practical effects. You could tell that a lot of the stuff was more in camera and actually I don't want to say blocked out because it's all blocked out, but felt more real, you know?
Yeah.
And the action is a big part of the movie, and I liked that the action was actually attached to character motivation in this one.
I agree.
like, action is worthless when it's not attached to any strong character motivation. Batman versus Superman.
And they did very well, I thought, with the character arcs of the story. I thought there wasn't any... In Batman vs. Superman, there was some that were really quick. There were... It was like, wow, that turned really fast. With this film, I felt like they were justified, and they had... It was a good arc with each person.
Yeah, all the main characters had a really good arc. Black Panther had a good arc.
That was great.
Bucky obviously had a really good arc. I really enjoyed how big of a part of the movie Bucky was. I felt like that was the right decision. Iron Man had a fantastic arc. Captain America had a great arc too, yeah. Lots of people had great arcs. Even Black Widow had a pretty good arc. I mean, she has very good arcs. Scarlett Johansson.
Back in a minute. Acting-wise, who were the standouts?
Robert Downey Jr., as always. He kills this role every time. He's really good. And you can see the torment in him this time. And you can kind of see the root of his behavior a lot more. Like, it comes to the surface a lot more, is what I felt. So he had the opportunity to really shine, and I feel like he did. I think Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch is really good. I really like her.
I want to see more from her.
Yeah, I think that she's a really good addition. Like, at the time that Age of Ultron came out, I was like, why is she saying but Quicksilver isn't? But I think that was the right decision. She is torment in this movie too, and it's good. I think the main thing that's good about Captain America Civil War is that all of the conflicts come out of relationship. The relationships between the characters fuel the conflicts. And that's never happened in a Marvel movie before, because the relationships always fueled kind of the buddy kind of aspect of it. But this is different, and things have come to a head, and things have surfaced, and they've gone to a risky place now instead of a safe place. So that's why I can confidently say that it's the best Marvel movie to date. Why I'm not giving it a high rating is because I was pretty disappointed with the end. I mean, the spoilers, I guess. I'm not going to spoil the end, but I'm going to spoil the feeling of the end. So all this shit happens, and all the fight happens, and they're like, oh no, all this stuff happened and friendships are broken and stuff like that. And then at the end of the movie, it's like, yeah, I understand that we had some differences, but if you need me, I'll be there.
After it just beat you and your friends to a pulp, high five me, buddy.
Ow.
See you for coffee in the morning.
See you for coffee in the morning.
That's what it felt like. The end of the film, actually, I felt like I was waiting for something else, and it just kind of ended, and I was like, surely there's some more, but that was it.
The mid-credits scene could have been in the movie.
I agree.
It was really important to the plot.
Chris Evans, I thought he did impeccable as always, but he left me wanting more. I wanted to see some more vulnerability from him. He did a great job, but I wanted to see more. I really wanted to see him match Iron Man's levels that he went, that Robert Downey Jr.'s levels.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. So yeah, he's not willing to compromise, but at times I felt like he just played that, like, I'm not going to compromise, where you didn't see the conflict, you know? Yeah. You didn't see, should I compromise now? No. It was just, I'm not going to compromise. You know?
There's no question about it.
Yeah. Which is a choice, but it's kind of a boring choice, you know? So, at the end of the day, if you had to give Captain America Civil War a rating out of 10, what would it be?
I'd give it a good 8.
8 out of 10?
Good 8 out of 10.
We're very close, because I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10.
I give it a good 8. It was really great to have. I needed my confidence restored with the Marvel films.
Yeah.
They were just coming out so fast and everything else, and I needed something that was really grounding and engaging and live, and a story that really pulled me in more.
Totally.
And it did that.
Totally, I feel the exact same way. There was a point in time where I was more excited for the DC cinematic universe than the Marvel one. That's no longer, because Batman vs. Superman sucked, and this is good. It's a good movie. So if you haven't seen it, then watch it. And he's gonna be in a movie soon, probably.
After this guy.
This isn't gonna work, us being humble.
No.
No.
Would you Marvel or DC first film?
Marvel.
Straight up.
Marvel.
I'd actually lean towards DC.
Really?
But I was a Batman boy, so
Depends on the movie. Depends if Zack Snyder's involved.
agreed. Script and director, who are they?
But if it's Ben Affleck, sign me up. I mean, who are we to choose? If Zack Snyder calls, I'll be like, fuck yeah.
Let me read it. Saying that, I'm excited for Suicide Squad. I'm not going to bring that into this video, but just saying.
I'm excited for that too. Superheroes.
So many superheroes. I might go see the movie again. I might go see Civil War again.
Bye. You just shut the
I just shut the audience. Thanks for watching.
Die.